9 months ago, we started e-commerce, actually with zero experience, and now it's all we do actually.
Can you maybe talk a bit of what was the reason you started with e-commerce?
I started in sales, working in a retail store. Didn't like my work. I only earned like minimum wages and stuff like that.
So then what was the reason you joined Millionaire Commerce?
Testimonials spoke for it, the results spoke for it, your brand spoke for it. So it was the combination of things that it actually made it like a no-brainer that we should go for you.
Yeah, 100%. And how were the first months for the program?
Immediately when we started having sales. So then it just kept going and we just kept scaling within 3 weeks. I think in the first month we immediately did with like 100K and we never dropped below that ever since.
Crazy. Because what revenues you do right now?
We still have to see where we end this month, but we're doing above the million.
What do you think makes you and your business partner different than other entrepreneurs?
Simply said, because
So guys, we're at another interview for Millionaire Commerce. I'm here with Bowie. I already heard great stories about you from other coaches, but maybe for the people that don't know you, can you quickly introduce yourself, your age, where are you from, where do you currently live?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for introducing me. So name is Bowie from the Netherlands, of course. I'm actually 31 years old. Right now I'm living in Vietnam. And I think like 9 months ago, we started e-commerce, me and my business partner, Saf. Actually with zero experience. And now it's all we do actually. So yeah, that's like
So 9 months ago, you started for the first time with e-commerce in your life.
Yeah, I was actually in sales doing for myself. I was one of the closers. You know what closers are, right? So that was what I was doing.
In our team as well.
Exactly. So that was what I'm doing. And I was like, okay, now that I'm mastered that skill, I've got some new time, more time. So let's grow something else.
Because like, what did you do before e-commerce? Like
so
closing and like, so you did closing for some time. And before that, can you maybe talk a bit of like, where did you grow up and what was the reason you started with, for example, with closing after e-commerce?
Yeah, sure.
Life behind it.
Okay, sure. So I grew up in Breda, small city, right? So I started in sales, actually doing very basic work, like working in a retail store, selling cameras, selling TV, stuff like that. Didn't like my work, never liked it. So at some point I was like, okay, maybe I'm a bit too smart for this, right? I only earned like minimum wages and stuff like that. So then I actually started education, like, how do you say it, a bachelor degree, part-time. So next to my work, I started there in financially accounting. And at the same time, I applied for a job somewhere in finance. So that was like my first step to getting a bit more money, a bit more earnings. So then I was doing accounting. I made double the money I made before, but I still hated my work because it was boring. It wasn't like me. I just did it for the money. So at some point I was like, yeah, I can do all the efforts for like maybe a few hundreds a year more to raise and raise and raise. Or I can just find something I really like and do that for myself and actually build something from scratch. So then I was like investing different opportunities. And then I came across like a coach, and no, it was not you guys. It was actually one in sales. And I actually bought like a mentorship to go into sales. And that's how I rolled into the high ticket sales.
And how did that go? Like, what was the most you earned with sales, and what was it hard? Was it easy?
It's never really easy, but I don't think it was that hard for me. I just had passion about sales. I wanted to do something. I wanted to build something, and I always like a bit competitive, right? You don't want to be the weakest of the class. You want to be the best. So I took the course. I think it was like a 6K investment. At that point, it was a lot, but if I look back on it now, it's peanuts, right? So it went pretty fast. I went into closing. When I started doing good results, at some point I did steady like between 10 and 15K. And that was when I actually started doing less and less calls, because a call earned me money while I didn't have to do so many of them, because I earned higher commissions, higher profits actually per hour. So at some point I was only doing like 2 or 3 calls a day. So it was like a luxury lifestyle, still earning good while having a lot of time. But then I think like, yeah, this is not it. I want more than this. And then actually
sales, you come most of the time to a certain limit because you still, give away your time for money, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
To make income, passive income with sales, if you're not involved with doing calls every day.
Exactly. Literally, the output was limited to my input, and at some point, I did 10 hours a day. But it's like very exhausting because you have to be
Mm.
straight. You have to have the happy smile. But after 9 calls, I can tell you, you're not happy anymore. You're not energetic, but you have to pretend. So at some point, I was like, okay, what now? And actually, I researched trading because I did that before I went into sales. But there was a reason I never really fully went for it because it was the same as my old job, right? It's financial, it's looking at
Mm.
charts, looking at
Yeah.
files. It's pretty boring. So then I thought, like, no, let's be honest with myself. This is never going to be it. Never the thing that I have passion about. So
Mm.
then actually I knew someone which I trained within sales that actually joined your community and
Mm.
actually started doing
Who
good
was
results.
that guy?
That was Rick.
Oh, Rick. Yeah, 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 yeah.
He actually been a coach. You know
He
him, right?
coached now very, very successful student as well. Coached by my brother in the beginning, but a great guy, and he yeah, did a great job with his brand. So he was the inspiration for you to start with e-commerce.
Yeah. So actually, he was like the desktop version of however you can sell it. So as soon as I saw that he actually did good results, I was like, okay, I think e-commerce is the next step for me. So then I had this friend, not my best friend, but just somebody I've known for a lot of years. We met up again in the gym. We started discussing something because he already had like a business. He sold it for good money. So he had time enough, he had money enough, bit of same as me. And we started discussing more and more about e-commerce. And at some point that came to like the point that we actually said like, yeah, hey, let's just go. Why not?
Indeed. So then, what was the reason you joined Millionaire Commerce? Was it purely because, of course, you saw your friend Rick being a good testimony, having amazing results, or what was something that you thought like, okay, I trust in Samuel or trust in me that I want to take the coaching from those guys?
I think it was a bit of the total. You guys had a brand that I knew actually, and not because I'm against you, but I were Icon before I actually knew
Mm.
who you were.
Yeah,
So
that's
I knew the brand, so you didn't actually only have like a course or numbers. I knew the brand you had. I knew your course was big because I knew multiple people that actually closed for your company. I knew Rick actually did well within 3 months in e-commerce. And you didn't sell a course for like 1,500 euros, right? It was expensive.
true.
So then it has to be good.
Mm.
And the testimonial spoke for it, the results spoke for it, your brand spoke for it. So it was the combination of things that it actually made it like a no-brainer that we should go for you. I didn't research any others. So
Yeah,
yeah.
100%. And how were the first months for you in the program?
It was good. Actually, like the first week, my
Mm.
coach was Yari, by the way. You
Mm.
know him, right?
Yeah, of course. Shout out to Yari.
Mm. So he's a great guy, but he's also like a bit of a calm guy. So when
Mm.
we first joined the first week, he literally didn't say anything actually. He just gave us a few documents and said like good luck. So I was like, what is this? Do we
Mm.
really have to figure
Yeah.
out everything ourselves? So in the beginning I was like, well, this is not really the coaching I expected.
Mm.
But we literally had to research everything, right? So instead of being guided by the hand, we actually did a lot of research. I actually built my store twice because I did it on the wrong team, so I had to do it again. But all these things actually made like working crazy in like the first 2 weeks. We actually understood what we were doing instead of just doing what he said we do. So
Yeah.
then we did it very well. We started scaling, and then he became more and more active, and he literally scaled us
So
within a
from
month.
you start scaling, like after what time period you got like your first profitable product?
Actually, like immediately, because we did so well before we actually launched our first one. We did multiple store optimizations. We built it again. Product research. We had a lot of product researchers, and within there, we actually researched which have the most ambitions. So as soon as we launched our first products, I think
Crazy.
first day
I
was a
don't see
sale.
that a lot. For example, for me to get my first winning product, it took like a year, you know. And
Really?
yeah, 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 like really a long time testing a lot. And you see with also a lot of other students that it takes sometimes a month or takes like 30 products to test or more. Like, what do you think was the reason from the get go your first product was straight a winner? You think it was partially luck or you just got guided in the right direction also, maybe because of
No.
people
I
you
don't really believe in luck. So, okay, maybe we had luck that we had Jerry as a coach.
know?
Okay, I don't know how other coaches would be, so I can't talk about that. But Jerry is great. His concepts worked. So he just gave us a perfect concept. He explained what to do, researched in the market that we actually wanted to go in, like which competitors are doing well, and we just took all these elements and combined into yeah, I think the best store we could do. So we took what worked, but we actually improved it with our own concept and gave it like a different jacket. And I think that's what worked.
So your
And
store was in the fashion niche from the
yeah,
get-go? Okay.
yeah,
And
we still do fashion only actually.
in which market, in which country?
Well, we started in New Zealand, and right
Mm.
now we're focusing only on US.
Okay, great, great. So from that moment, once you got your first product, can you give us like the timeline of like how you scaled to, for example, your first 1K day, your first 10K day, um, yeah, and where you at right now?
Mm, I don't know exactly when we hit the first 1K day, but I know within 3 weeks we did like an 8K day.
Mm,
So
it's crazy.
immediately when we started having sales. So then it just kept going and we just kept scaling within 3 weeks. And then actually everything crashed down already. So we had like a good momentum up.
Mhm.
Then I think we had like a pixel crash or we had like an ad account getting blocked. I don't know which one it was anymore. And then we dropped down again, back to almost zero. And we just did the same process again and we kept scaling it up again within no time actually.
So like after like 3 weeks, you already did 8K, and like after you had some struggles, what were the things like you struggled most with in the beginning?
Well, we've had every struggle and obstacle you can actually find. So
Mm,
our ad account got blocked. We've got like a pixel crash. I think like our payment processes raised massive blocks.
mm,
First Shopify payment, then Air Wallets. So all of these actually have set us back, but we just kept doing what we did, improved it, took the lessons from every obstacle we had, and we just kept going. So
mm.
we immediately, I think in the first month, we immediately did way like 100K, and we never dropped below that ever since.
Crazy. Because what revenues you do right now?
Right now, well, we still have to see where we end this month, but we're
Mm,
doing above the million.
million. That's crazy. In 9 months, scaling from zero to 1 million in revenue is yeah, you can be proud on yourself and on your business partner, of course, because that's really difficult. You know, of course, well, how I see it, like of course, scaling from zero to 100K is difficult, but from 100K to 1 million, in my opinion, is more easy. But to already go from zero to 100K in that first month is, yeah, really impressive. Like, why do you think, for example, you and your business partner scale to this level in 9 months, and other people, yeah, don't, or have a very hard time with even scaling, for example, to 100K? What do you think makes you and your business partner different than other entrepreneurs?
Simply said, because we don't do exactly what all others do, right? If you only I heard a lot of people say like, why doesn't it work? I literally
Mhm.
copied what someone is doing with big numbers, and it
Mhm.
doesn't work for me. But if you do the exact same thing as all the successful ones are already doing, then why would it work for you? Because the budget, the money, the algorithm is all in their
Mhm.
benefits, right? Or in their advantage. So what we did was just what everyone does, but we do it better. We put more time in it. And that's not only on like store level or in like research level, but also in media buying level. So all
Like, what
aspects.
kind of things do you do differently compared to others? If you need to be like more specific.
Okay, so like for example, in media buying, people are always looking for that pearl that works, right? This
Mhm.
strategy or that strategy. We just tested every strategy, and
Mhm.
what worked, okay, we kept going with that, but we kept testing differently, or we
Mhm.
kept testing different versions of the strategy that actually worked. So not only CBO or ABO, or only collections or single products. So we just tested everything. For example,
Mhm.
if we have a product that actually wins for us, we also duplicated on another other ad account. We also duplicated with a collection URL behind it. We
Mhm.
build a collection around that product. And that's how we just keep mixing it up.
Yeah, that's a very good one. So not just build what currently works, but always looking for improvements, what you can do differently. And that's exactly the same thing like what we do with Icon. The reason why we stand where we stand today, because never when the performance is good, we just keep doing the same thing. We're always looking, okay, what can we do differently? Different types of ads, different types of products, always evolving, because you also might know with e-commerce, things can change very
Yeah,
quickly from doing maybe now 1 million in a month. There's so many drop shippers that the month after don't do that anymore. So that's why constantly improving is so important, because like if you look to the past 9 months, how did you keep like the momentum? Because so much drop shippers have, my ad account got shut down. I start from zero again. Then the store got blocked. Then they have these problems, and they never can keep the momentum, you know. So yeah, what was it for
so,
you that
well,
you
let's
can?
let's be honest. It's not like we always have kept our momentum because at
Mhm.
some point we almost did like 300K, and then we had like a massive crash because of a payment processors actually
Mhm.
fully blocked us. So we woke up on a Sunday morning and literally we had no revenue because yeah, no one could actually pay, but all our ad spend was just pushed. So
Yeah.
algorithm was busted, performance didn't pick up afterwards. So it felt like we had to start over again. And that was actually like one of our worst months ever. So we only did like a little bit above the 100K. But we made like massive losses on our overhead and all.
Yeah.
But you know, you can actually do what you did because we already were doing 300K with good profits. So
Mhm.
this is just a setback, right? We're just gonna try it again, and we just kept testing. So these two stores, we never could pick them up again.
Yeah.
So I think that was the biggest lesson that we learned, that we shouldn't be um, holding on to that thing that actually worked, but at some point it didn't work. So then we just kept testing new stores. So
Yeah.
we tested new stores. One didn't work. We tried a new market, didn't work. We tried another market, another store. It did pick up. We go ahead with that, and that's how we just keep going. You just keep testing what works, improve it, do different versions of it, and don't get set back by the obstacles. But because we all know they're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
keep showing
part of
up.
it. You know, they will keep showing up. But of
Exactly.
course, you can do everything what you can to make sure that when an obstacle comes, you can handle them as quick as possible, or make sure you get like less obstacles, because um, I also did drop shipping. I know how much obstacles come in the way. Even now, when we don't do drop shipping, we still have issues with payment processors. You know, imagine we as such a big brand, and especially after what happened in the last month, even for example, our Klarna account gets shut down. And I was like, what the fuck? We worked
Alright.
for years together, have a good partnership, and then you stop working with us because of some fake articles. You know, so it doesn't matter where you stand if you do drop shipping or you have a huge brand as us. Like everything can happen in a split second and then you can still get fucked up, you know. So
Yeah.
what I really saw, and maybe you've seen that as well, is that how important like back end structure is, and having a good team, fulfilling good products to get as less as setbacks as possible. What's your opinion about that?
Yeah, definitely. Because, like we said, obstacles are still going to show up. But if you take lessons from everything that happened before, you can at least prevent a lot of them. And the ones you can prevent, at least make sure that your team can actually tackle them or that you have
Mm.
like backups in place. For example,
Yeah.
ad accounts getting blocked. Well, we always have multiple ad accounts, payment processes. Well, we always have multiple payment processes. Like Facebook profiles, we always have multiple. And actually, everything just tackle with a backup, with a solid plan that if it goes down, you still can continue. So I think every obstacle that we ever meet, we ever bump up to again, it still teaches us something and we only get stronger by it. So at the point, it's not fun and you really don't like and you think like, seriously, why does this have to happen to me again? But in the end, you're also grateful because you know it only makes you stronger. And that's why probably you get further than if it never happened.
Because if you now look back, what is the biggest obstacle you overcame?
I think like when our payment processor literally terminated our account, like both stores, performance crashed. They actually kept a lot of our funds, which
Mm-hmm.
demolished our cash flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a multi-impact obstacle. So and our stores crashed the performance-wise, so there was no good money coming in actually, or not profitable cash flow money coming in, and we couldn't use that payment processor, so we had to fall down on a backup payment processor. The funds were down. We had to test new stores while we actually had less cash flow. So yeah, that was a big one.
How long did it took to get over that setback?
I think we had like 2 full months to actually recover from it. We still kept going, and we did do okay numbers, but not that much profitable to actually build decent cash flow again. So
Mhm.
I think it took like 2 months of a lot of testing. Every different version of testing you can imagine, we
Mhm.
did it. So new stores, new ad accounts, new pixels, new type of products, new type of research, new type of ad media buying strategies. It doesn't matter. You think of it, we tried it. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. And if you now look back to like 9 months ago and where you stand right now, like how did you change as a entrepreneur and as a person?
Well, a lot. Lots of besides the capabilities, like now I can actually do coding and developing myself. Like ChatGPT was my mentor, right? I
Yeah.
learned so many things, but besides the skills you learn, you just learn like I think mostly a passion for what I do. So it doesn't matter what it is, even if it's like backend. Let's be honest, it's nobody's favorite thing, right? Because it doesn't directly put the money in your pocket, but in the end, that's what keeps the money. So I actually dove a lot into backend, like implementing processes, learning, checking disputes and stuff like that. So I think what I learned most is that I actually put effort in everything, whether I like it or not, instead of only focusing on the thing that you like and that actually looks like it puts the most money in your pocket. No, every aspect of the business is important. So you should know everything. You should learn everything about it.
Yeah,
Uh,
otherwise, you cannot delegate it, because at what point are you right now? Do you still do a lot of those things that you just talked about yourself, or you now build a solid team to give away all those tasks to developers, media buyers, product listers? Like,
Yeah, we do have a team, so most is delegated, but still you want to know and understand everything, right? Because how
mm,
can you ever lead the team or
mm,
manage the entire business if you don't know these aspects? So yeah, we have like a lot of customer service reps, a backend manager, dispute manager, media buyer, listers, freelance developer. So actually, we've got a nice team for that, but still, you keep check on everything. You
yeah,
want to
because
know it
how
all.
big is your team right now?
Sorry.
How big is your team right now?
We got 8 customer service reps, one dispute manager, but we're literally in the working right now to get the second one next to it, and we have one backend manager on top of that. Then we have 2 Shopify listers, one media buyer, and one developer. So
Yeah.
what is that? Like 12 people.
Where do you focus on most yourself right now?
A bit of the testing commercially, like so the media buying aspect on strategy, budgeting, scaling, A/B testing, a lot of things on the website, and actually yeah, still a lot of things like the backend managing in total. Like now that we scale to new levels and more dispute chargebacks are coming in, how is the dispute manager handling that? So like the overall managing of the different departments and the actually commercial aspects that can boost or
Yeah.
increase our margins. That's mostly what I focus on. Yeah.
So you currently don't struggle with getting too comfortable because, of course, you have a hell of a journey from 0 to 1 million a month in like less than a year. You don't
No,
think that
definitely not.
my life changed a lot, maybe with, of course, the revenues that are coming in. You can now do certain things that before you couldn't do. You can buy certain things you couldn't buy. How are you looking at that?
Actually, it's funny. I think I've only become more cheap since I got more money than before. When I was before, actually, when I only made like 10K a month, I spent way more money than I spend now, actually. So
Really?
yeah, because I just know like, okay, you can spend all the money, but actually, what do I want to do? I want to build, right? That's why I didn't say okay to what I earned in sales. I wanted more than that. So
Mm.
actually, I think I work more now than I did before when we only doing like 1 or 200K a month. So when you get comfortable, then it's when it's going down, right? Then an obstacle comes, you're not prepared, it falls down, and everything is gone. It can be pretty quickly.
And
So
you know also what goes into it to grow it, new agencies to try out, new website, new team members. Of course,
exactly,
e-commerce to grow your company. Sometimes you also need to have months that you put all your profits back into the business or in inventory. So that's also part of it. What sometimes people seem to forget. Of course, you can make great profits with e-commerce, but you also need to keep the profits or reinvest in them. It's not just a cash flow business that you can pull everything out of it straight away and live the good life.
No, definitely. Actually, this is like the first month that me and my business partner pay anything to ourselves. We
Mm,
never paid a single euro to ourselves before because we
mm,
actually invested it again and again. And we took new coaching within MCE, new payment processors. We needed a lot of cash flow actually to scale like these levels right now. So no,
mm.
we always needed the funds. We reinvested it because that's going to earn more money. And if I spend it on
True.
luxury clothing, luxury hotels all the time, then it's not going to
Have
earn
you
any
not bought a little watch or something for the achievement?
No,
Or
actually, no. I live remote, so I do live in like a good place because I always want like a nice desk setup and stuff. So
Mhm,
I do want a good house. I'm not gonna live in like a small apartment. So my
mhm.
costs are already pretty high, but no, I'm not gonna make it over the top luxury. And
No,
one
no,
day that will come, but right
no
now I don't need.
property, no first watch, nothing, no
No,
car.
no,
Really? So you said to me before this call you live in Vietnam. Like, what's the reason you moved there? And yeah, what's the reason you, of course, be like, okay, I don't want anything luxurious. I still live a very normal life. Like,
Oh, I
what's
do
the
live. I do live like luxury. Like I go to the massage saloon every 3 days. I do eat out in good restaurants and stuff like that. But I travel the world, so I don't buy a car. I still have a car in Holland, but yeah, it's been stuck there in my garage for like 7 months right now. So I don't know. I just rather invest it and make it more and more and more and compound it more because I'm not like a massive millionaire right now, right? Our
of
business can do million, or maybe we hope to actually
course.
achieve like 1.5, 2 million this month, but
Mhm.
that's not on my bank account. So you just want to make more, and the fun and the luxury will come later. I rather invest it wisely, right?
Because like, where do you currently invest your money in? Is it like coaching? Is it like maybe like inventory? Is this, yeah? Like, what do you currently invest your money in?
Yeah, we invested in new coaching. We mostly invest like business wise, just it's not inventory. We still do fully dropship only, but like in our
Mhm.
team, like softwares, we build more structures like Hong Kong company. I want to move to Dubai, so Dubai structure and just stacking a bit more. So if we want to launch a second store and scale it that bigly, you're gonna need a lot of cash flow, right? While we
Yeah,
also still need a lot of cash flow for this store and just for preparations, if we get a reserve of 10 or 20%, you even want cash flow to back it up. So yeah, just better be safe than sorry.
100%. Because like, what are now your future plans with the store? Of course, you want to scale it to like 1.5, 2 million, maybe more than that a month. Are you planning to do that with the same store? Are you planning to set up extra stores or go deeper into branding? Like, what are your current plans for this year?
Yeah, so this year, like we're over halfway, so we want to still, right now, we kept it like at a steady level because we want to make sure that our backend is very solid, that we don't scale too quickly on the front end, not quickly enough on the back end, that it will actually give us trouble later. So we just keep steadily scaling this business. Then we want to launch a same one, like same concept, different jacket,
Mhm.
again, like we did in New Zealand and Australia. Launch that also in the US. See if we can scale that too, so we get more consistently a bit of spreading the risk. And if that keeps working and our cash flow keeps stacking and stacking, then we actually want to build a brand in the end. But right now, our main focus is just on dropship because it makes money. Our concept works, so we go fully on that. Um, because let's be honest, you cannot do three things at the same time and do it all perfect, right?
100%. Always best to focus on one. And the good thing that you keep doing drop shipping, because a big mistake I see a lot of people make is they finally make good money with drop shipping and they think, I need to have a brand. I see what Ruben and Sam are doing. I see these other guys having a brand. But people forget that if you have a brand with inventory, you could never have done the results that you currently have done,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you always need to wait for the inventory, your products. There goes so much time over it. While with drop shipping, you can keep scaling, keep scaling, keep scaling. That's like the huge difference. The run that we Icon made, like 3, 4 million last November, like 7 million a month. That was over years, okay, bit by bit getting more inventory in,
Yeah, exactly.
selling it, getting sold out, buying new. But with drop shipping, you can scale, yeah, unlimitless.
And you can test unlimitless, right? So
Uh, Yeah, 100%. So if you did you had like crazy reactions in your friend circle or like your family members that acted different or on your success or was like what the fuck is Bowie now doing?
Oh, that's a good one, actually. I didn't really share a lot of results because I don't really share my numbers anywhere, especially
Mm,
with family and friends, because people can change or, yeah, I don't know. Now
mm.
that we did it, but um, I didn't really share it. So I didn't have like a
Also
lot
not in the community.
in the community. We did share it, yeah. And that's
Yeah,
like
how are
people
the
understand it, right? So, for
reactions?
example, I also have friends in e-commerce. With them, I do share it because you understand what's going on. If you say, if I would tell my mother what we make, like revenue wise,
Yeah, they think it's like sales that's in profit, you know.
she doesn't understand it, right? She thinks
Uh,
like, what? That's impossible. What do
yeah,
you do? Right? So I don't know. I never really outed it to everyone. So it's mostly been only my like my brother or friends that actually know e-commerce or in business. So yeah,
yeah,
no
it's
crazy
share
reaction.
with people that also do e-commerce because, for example, I know for you it would have a big impact if you share your numbers with people in the community or other people that do e-commerce because it makes it way easier for you to network, you know. And I think at the position you are right now, you maybe should network more than what you're currently doing.
Well, I will give it a go.
That's also good to have you on this interview because like the circle of people you have around you right now, is it like mainly just your business partner or you made like new friends in e-commerce or do you still have the people from yeah way back before your success around you?
Yeah, I do have a lot of people actually that I met during traveling. For example, in Cape Town, a lot of business
Mm,
people go in Cape Town, same as like Dubai, right, or Marbella, or probably Bali. Like a lot of.
mm,
So I met a lot of entrepreneurs, some in e-commerce, also some people within the community. Actually, I've grown a bit more known
mm,
of, right, because you both do the same thing, so you understand what you're talking about. You can actually share numbers without anyone being jealous or being like, "What? What's going on?"
mm,
So yeah, I did make a lot of new friends actually through
mm,
business, traveling, and through uh, the community. So yeah.
mm. And you also have like a girlfriend. Is it hard to yeah combine the work that you do right now with having a relationship, or you think it only makes it more easy?
No, because she actually met me when I was doing pretty much 80 hours a week, only focused on work. So she always known what she signed up for. So
Mm. So do you now have more or less freedom than before starting with e-commerce?
I do have way more freedom. In the end, I work a lot, but it's by choice. I
Mm,
can still, if I want to go tomorrow to the beach in the morning, in the evening, I can go there. So I live
mm,
next to the beach. I can do whatever I like in whatever time frame I like, and I can work a lot. But it's only because I want to, right? You want to grow more. I don't
exactly.
want to stay at 1.5 million. Actually we invested 1 million. That was
Mm,
like a massive goal. Actually, we actually set a lower goal than we did already for like the last for the 6 months. But now you want more, right? And you want consistency. So
mm,
if I go slack out and just chill and go to the beach, go to bars, only go dine out every evening, then I probably
yeah,
won't double it. Because if I double down on it and I put all the hours in it, yeah, then we can keep growing it. And that's actually what I prefer most in life right now. So
yeah. You just have you found your purpose now with
yeah, exactly.
yeah. That's hard because the same is what I have sometimes when you're working a lot. You think I want to do more things or meet more people or go out or so. But then when you go out, you always think I want to go back to work. So it's always a cycle of yeah.
Exactly. Then you're thinking like I'm missing out on.
Yeah, exactly. Missing out on revenue, or yeah,
Yeah,
that's the thing. But that's the good thing, the good mindset you should have, you know. Because
yeah,
if you don't have that, then it's very easy to get comfortable, especially with the revenues that you are currently doing.
exactly. And Ruben,
Yeah.
you are like 26, right?
No, 23, 23,
23, really?
23. My brother is 26.
Oh, crazy. I thought you were like about the same age. Well, yeah, so I'm 31 already. So
Mhm.
I've come down a bit more, and I
Mhm.
think I wasted a lot of my younger years. So that's why I don't want to go out all day right now, and I just want to build this because I've
Mhm.
been slacking in my life for like the first 26 years and only started building a bit after that. So no, I'm pretty good with focusing on what I should do right now.
Yeah, but it's crazy, you know. We have so much people that start with e-commerce that are younger than you, that are like 20, 21, 23. But it's good that you still made the decision at 30 to start with ecom, because so many people are stuck in their ways, have their job, maybe already have kids, so it makes it more difficult for them to make that step. Because if you now look back, like starting with e-commerce and millionaire commerce, do you think that's like the best decision of your life?
Yeah, starting with sales, starting with e-commerce, both were the best decisions in my life,
Yeah,
definitely.
sick. Because like, how was your work ethic in the beginning once you started?
Started with e-commerce or before
Your
that?
e-commerce, like your work ethic in the beginning.
Oh, it was already good because I was grinding for sales, right? But like starting
Yeah.
for myself, business wise, freelancing wise, I think that's where I learned even more discipline and through sports. Um, so yeah, the work ethic was already good, but it only been easier now because I do it with passion, right? I like my business because it's a lot of different things. With sales, it was always the same thing. I had calls like these for an hour,
Mhm.
trying to actually let the people convince themselves to actually sell themselves the product. But I
Yeah.
did it again and again and again. And right now, it's so many different things, so much variety. So I actually love working. So it's very easy to put in all the work. It's not that I have to do something against my will. So
Especially after you see the results, it motivates you only more to show
exactly,
up more. That's great.
exactly.
If you look back to the coaching, of course, we helped you a lot, but what did you think Millionaire Commerce has helped you most with in terms of your success?
Yeah, actually, the total, right? I don't know where to start with if I would do it myself. Maybe
Mm,
you could get results by yourself, but it would definitely be not be as quick as with
mm,
the right guidance. Because right now, I exactly know how to build a store, what concepts work, how I do my competitor research. So all these steps, whether it be small or very big, they made such a huge impact.
mm,
Actually, like a few weeks ago, um, we had like a very small detail actually that Yari told us, like in a
mm.
coaching session. He said like, hey, instead of only at level niveau, check more on creative level niveau, like based on performances to switch. So when I started doing that, actually performance picked up. We could keep campaigns running much longer with way bigger ROAS, and we actually scaled again to new levels. So it's such a small change. It's so logical, but because we haven't been doing that for months, I never thought about it again.
Mm.
Right? So
Yeah.
you just get stuck in what you do. So a bit of a different version over it. They don't have to say something magical, but just small words can make so big
Yeah,
impact.
that's why sometimes looking different at a different perspective has such a huge impact, and that's why
Exactly.
also having coaching or networking a lot, that does the most. Also for me, I have like a circle around me of so much good entrepreneurs, and if you're at the gym or just sitting at a table and sparring with them, and you hear how somebody else does it or a different perspective, only that small conversation can have like a huge impact.
Yeah, right.
So what's now next for you?
So next is actually well, business and privately wise, I go back to Holland to actually extend my passport. That's why I have to go back. I will
Mhm.
sign out from Holland. I will move to Dubai, so we don't have a lot of tax because we can earn as much as we want. But we all know we have to pay a lot of tax in Holland. And business wise, we just want to keep scaling this business, get consistency in. So it's not just a 1 or 2 or 3 months of good success. We actually want to stretch it a bit longer. And we want to launch again a new store so we can actually spread the risks. And as soon
Still
as
in the
we have that,
fashion niche.
oh, yeah, sorry.
Still in the fashion niche.
Yeah, still fashion is just because we know what we do, it works for us. So we're just gonna do it again in a different version. And when we also get that very nice end goal of this year is to start an own brand. And we can just start it while doing it drop shipping, but at least doing a different version, a different concept than
Also
we
in the fashion niche or a different niche.
no, then I think we would try it something else. But that's
Yeah.
why we also need a bit of cash flow and we need this to work because you don't want to try something very new while you don't have any other securities and income, right? So this is our business. This is how we generate income and cash flow. And then if that all runs smoothly and we stack our cash flow, then we can try something else.
Yeah, but it's good also to try something new, because like to really start a fashion brand from scratch, it can be really challenging,
Yeah.
especially if you come from a background with fashion, drop shipping, where you can test so much different products, where you can make iterations all day, where if you finally find a good product that you can keep scaling it. Well, if you go over to a fashion brand, then you, for example, we with Icon, we work in two collections. I'm now already working on the summer collection of next year, and we are now focusing on making like all the content and on working on the launch of the winter collection for this year. So
That's
imagine
great.
you always work like 1 year ahead, and that's what how all the big brands do it. The big brands even work 1.5 years ahead. What's really insane, you know. So imagine we buy now something for the next summer, but once we sell it and it sells good, it's very hard to restock it immediately. In the winter, it's a bit more easy. But imagine we had like certain sandals that sold very well, but to restock those sandals, if I'm now restocking them, I will get them in August. Then it's already too late in the summer, you know. So it's
Uh,
also so seasonal and difficult. So we can now test products like this summer for next year summer and then buy more of it. But that's the hard thing about like working with stock. What a lot of people,
yeah,
yeah,
I believe that.
forget. You know, it's like step by step scaling. Okay, buying a new collection, waiting on the boat to come in. Because of course, if you sell fashion in Europe, you also should fulfill it from Europe. From China, the prices are too expensive. So there goes a lot into it behind the scenes. What people don't see. You know. While with dropshipping, fashion dropshipping, you can keep scaling it, or while you, for example, have a, let's say, a certain book or a cosmetica product that you can sell all year round, you can scale that way faster because if the product sold out, you can restock it and you're not used to the season. And also the same works with like certain products, because if we have like a product that we can sell year round, it can
Yeah,
also be like after 2 years or so that the product dies out and is not trending anymore. That's also what we had. And then you have still a lot of stock and you need to make a transition. We had certain products that we almost spent like 1 million on one product in ad spend, and imagine that after 2 or 3 years that the product then dies
that's
down
that.
and
Yeah.
you still have stock. You need to sell the stock for a sale price, then find the new winning product. But I love it. I love it.
It's a different game, right? But it's
Yeah, it's
still,
a different game. It's a different game. So yeah, I still recommend people to start with a real fashion brand. Um, I would not recommend somebody from the start to. It's better to start with fashion drop shipping. But if you have really, really a unique idea and you're also a bit fashion minded, then it's still there's still opportunity for fashion brands, you know. But you need to have one unique selling point that makes your brand different than competitors. That's also why you now see, for example, the new fashion brands that pop up in this day and age. They're all connected to a personal brand. You have like these high beast kids that start their own brand and then do drops. Because the thing is, why they can scale the brand is because people buy it for the person behind it,
yeah,
and
exactly.
yeah, instead of just on the fashion brand itself. So they don't have like all the advertising costs. What kills a lot of these starting brands.
Yeah, because then they can sell it organically, so they don't need ad spend, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a great conversation, Bowie. Thank you for yeah being a great student and having trust in millionaire commerce. Also, yeah, trust in your coach, of course. Is there yeah one last tip you want to yeah give to people that also now after this interview think like wanting to start with e-commerce and changing their lives?
Well, thanks anyway for having me, by the way, and thanks for your teachings, right? If I didn't have you, then I wouldn't be here. So a tip is actually just do and put in a lot of hours. People always say they put in a lot of effort. Well, then they
Hmm.
still got enough time to scroll on socials to see all the commercials. Well, I don't watch socials. I don't watch TV, right? You just go in, you do everything that your teacher tells you to do, but you do it better than others do. So don't do exactly what's needed, do it better, do it more, research how you can do it better. Because in the end, if you do what everyone does, you'll never succeed and you'll never be better than everyone.
Very valuable indeed. Put that fucking phone in a different room and just get your best
Exactly.
up, grind and do that little step extra what other people don't do because they're scrolling too much on their phone. Yeah, very
Exactly.
valuable. Yeah. So where can people find you that don't know you?
If they don't know me, they can find me online. My name is Bowie. If you check Insta, it's Bowie lower dash Magielsa. And right now they can find me in Vietnam, but soon I'll be in Spain and in Holland again.
Yeah, amazing. Okay. See you soon, boy. Thank you.
Thanks, Ruben. Ciao, ciao.